check it out. Welcome to this page. So we cover a lot of things here: spirituality, metaphysical, art, creativity, motivation, inspiration, all kinds of things come to me. All right, so check this out. Last May, when the auroras came down and we could see them all over the United States, you know, aurora borealis, those colors in the sky. It was an interesting thing because I had this piece of art and I went outside at the Davidova show and I held it up to the sun set before I went into the show to bring the good energy into the show to connect the world grid together, because it was a very powerful show. And I held up this magical piece while I was at the sunset. And that was the first day that glow-in-the-dark Yeming Ju dragon's egg actually glowed blue. It was very interesting. I brought it inside of the show and all of a sudden everybody wanted to hold that magical wand that I had. So it got passed around, a lot of cool stuff happened. Long story short, I didn't realize that night was the auroras gonna pop out in the sky. And nor did I realize that I was gonna be interested in what the solar news was all about, and that there even was a solar news. And how does the solar news affect the Earth news? And how does the Earth news not actually know that the sun affects the Earth, and so they have no correlation in between? And how is it that most of us don't know that the sun actually affects the Earth in ways where we're not just having it daylight and not daylight, or you know what I mean, when it's like equinoxes and solstices and whatever we call it, like the sun's going at angles and all this stuff. That's all like normal stuff that we're taught, I think, right? But we're not taught about the solar flares, the coronal mass ejections. We're not taught about the Birkeland currents feeding the sun. We're not taught about how the sun's energy comes down into the earth and couples with magnetic fields, and then it goes to and through the earth and everything around us. And certain frequencies are absorbable by plants and by us, and other ones just pass on through us. And there's all kinds of different things going on simultaneously from the sun. It's not just this gigantic ball of fire in the sky that's just like making sure that we have the perfect day. Although, are you having the perfect day? I hope you are. I'm having a pretty perfect day. Yeah, thanks for asking. I'm hanging out chilling, saying that last year I started to follow the sun news and watch what the sun's doing every single day. And then I've been watching the correlations on when these solar flares come out of the coronal mass ejections. And then I also see how it is that the moon and the tides and the cycles and the seasons all come together. And then earthquakes happen. And then I can see where the earthquakes, I don't know where the earthquakes are going to happen, but the pre-earthquake warning is when you watch the sun do what it just did over the last 24 hours, and then all of a sudden now, boom, over there in Thailand. I don't know if you guys watched the news this morning. I didn't. I just watched the sun news. Sun news already predicted that there's going to be what just happened. And I've been watching it for a year, and it's right on key every single time. We are in a crazy, amazing time for transformation right now, which means that the earth is bringing all that energy from the sun's coming into the earth, and the earth is storing it all up, and then the earth has to radiate it back out in a certain way. That's what causes the rumbling of the earth. And then when that sun comes down and it creates this weather patterns that are going on, like the one we just saw in Washington right now, how it is that the cyclone over there, they call it, was actually just going crazy. Interesting. They call hurricanes, tornadoes, cyclones, like all of these things are all these spinning vortices of energy, of currents of positive and negative, heavy and light, warm and cold, all of this stuff spinning together, and it's getting stirred up by a galactic force. Not just the sun, but what feeds the sun and what feeds all of the planets coming into these alignments. And then the eclipses are happening, and then there's the ley lines of the earth and the grid patterns of your body within the meridian points and how things connect. There's the www.com where we're at right now, connecting to this page where you'll like, subscribe, and follow, because I got a lot more to say. And you can ask me questions and I'll answer them for you. If you're interested, just go ahead and send me a message. But also, I do a lot of this because I'm interested in it. I love my life, and I follow the golden threads, the synchronicities that happen. And some of the synchronicities last year in May that happened about the auroras got me on the sun news, which then got me watching the synchronistic flow of how it is that people's emotions are affected by the sun and the moon and the tides that come in and out, whether you can get your boat out of the mud or not, whether it's muddy or not, because bays, they fill up and then they empty out. They fill up and they empty out. And we're filling up and we're emptying out and filling up and emptying out. And we need to know when it's time to actually do what. And this time that we're in right now, this is the dawning of the golden age. Just to know what time you're in, I'm in that time where everything gets